All right, that took me way longer than I thought because I actually put a lot of thought into this. I wanted to make sure that I had this. Okay, so let's break down best seasons first. Let's do best seasons. Okay, Adriel had one of the best seasons that we've seen as a goalkeeper. He had 12 shutouts, 2 player of the matches, and a 6.81 rating. Okay, here's the 3 center backs here that are here. Nicolas Ayala back at Miramar Misiones. It was this year when we won the title. Some of these guys, what you'll notice is that they got more stats than the others, but it's because they have retired and we don't have their data from that season yet. But what I do know is that based on just looking at best 11 of that year, Nicolas Ayala, 4 goals, 7 rating. That's very high for a center back. Yeah. And I mean, title winning season, 4 goals, like outrageous. Brandon Yana, this was the breakout year for him where he became like a corner phenom. Like he was just always the back post, like pinging in headers. By the way, all the goals that I'm putting in here and all the assists, it is only for league games. I'm not counting the cups. I'm not counting the Copa Sudamericana. None of that. This is just the league. So Brandon Yana getting 6 goals, 2 player of the matches, 6.84. Very good. Brandon Yana, like big, tall center back, still plays for Cerro to this day. Has never consistent starter. And I have a little bit of pride in that because we nurtured him to, early development, and then he's gone on. He's now, a starter regular at Cerro in this save. Next one, Felipe Mata, 2031. So there was a couple of seasons ago, 4 goals, 6.83 rating, just solid defender, couple goals off the corners. Great stuff. Now we're going to go with the right wing back, Augustine Peralta Bauer. You might remember this way back in one of the earlier sessions, dude. That year when we won the title, 2025, Augustine Peralta Bauer was outrageous on the right side. He was constantly causing issues. 705 rating is really, really good. Really good. So, 7 assists. I mean, if you're a right wing back and you're getting above 5 assists, you're having a really, really good year in the league sense. Okay, here's a defensive midfielder because if I'm honest, Carlos Diaz, I'll show you. Carlos Diaz had 2 outstanding seasons, and he could have been number 1 and number 2. But I wanted to do more of the offensive type and then more of the defensive midfielder. So Cliver Moreno actually in 2032 had the best season, 1 goal, 4 assists, 2 player of the match, 6.91. That's pretty good as a defensive midfielder. Very solid. Carlos Diaz, 7 goals, 8 assists, 4 player of the matches, 6.96. I know that he played in this role as well as the more forward role in the attacking midfielder position. He kind of went back and forth. So that's probably why he has the elevated piece there. But nonetheless, Carlos Diaz, penalty taker, free kick taker, great. Matias Pintos, the 2025 rating. Again, this is the year that we won the title in the second division. I mean, he had an outrageous year too. 6 goals, 7.22 rating. I bet you he has crazy assists too. But because he retired and I don't have them, I know that he's probably got something where, Peralta Bauer, I guarantee he's got above 5 assists. I guarantee it. Then, okay, so this is right wing. This was the season when Leandro Mendez finally broke out, became a bona fide young star who is definitely going to go on and become something else. 2028 was the last year that he was with us. 12 goals, 3 assists, 6 player of the match awards. I mean, he was outrageous. Alex Panoni, when he came in, 19 league goals. 19 league goals, 7.24 rating as an attacking center midfielder. Alex Panoni won us that title. There's no doubt in my mind. Alex Panoni won us that title. Ezekiel Gonzalez as the left wing from 2031, 10 goals, 11 assists, 6 player of the match, 701. Dude, if you're putting in 21 goal contributions in a season, I don't care if you're on loan. Like, that is an outstanding season. Michael Cabrera, if you've watched this stream from the earlier episodes, like the very, very start, Michael Cabrera was like the Michael Jordan or LeBron James of like our team. We were not that great in 2024. We had a pretty average team. We should have been like mid-table or so. He dragged us to a playoff contention and dragged us to the final. Like, it was, Michael Cabrera is like 22 goals in a league campaign, 2 assists, 9 player of the matches, 7.36. That is enough said. By far the best season anybody has ever had. We didn't even do anything like that particularly special. We went to the playoff final and lost, but Michael Cabrera is the reason that we took an average team and almost got promoted. That is like, he was outrageous. Then the other striker in this, Carlos Mata, 2032, 20 goals, 4 assists, 4 player matches, 701, 708. Solidly good, like really, really good season. If you get 20 goals as a striker, you've had an exceptionally good season. You have a good season at 10, like a good season at 15, a good season. Yeah, you have like a good season at 10, a great at 15, and excellent at 20. I mean, 20 goals is very, very good striker. Jose Arbio for a backup goalkeeper, let's say. We're getting to like the substitutes. 10 shutouts. This is 2028. Yeah, 2 player of the matches, like solid, good player. Juan Pablo Reyes, 2032. Yeah, as the right wing. I mean, fantastic. Santiago Ostalaza, back in actually last season, like the season I just wrapped up. Did nothing special, but did nothing poor. I think that's kind of like how center backs should be. Just solid, consistent. Martin Herrera last season as well, put together, I mean, look, 7 assists, 4 player of the matches, 7 rating. That's good. If you get a 7 rating as a wingback, like, you are in contention of having one of the best seasons in the save. Carlos Diaz, again, another really, really good like midfield. This is more of his midfield season, where he was not in the attacking role because Carlos La Rosa was there. But yeah, I mean, 2032, 6 goals, 2 assists. Yeah, it was good. Now, I feel like I robbed Carlos La Rosa, because I had a lot of consternation around this. Carlos La Rosa feels like he should be in the conversation with here. Like, he feels like he should be like in terms of one of the best seasons. I'm actually looking it up right now. As an attacking midfielder, you got 11 goals, 3 assists, 3 player of the matches, or yeah, 11 goals, 3 assists, 3 player of the matches, and a 6.94 rating. Yeah, I chose instead to take 2 strikers, and also like Ignacio Pereira also like doubles as a winger as well. 14 goals, 6.95 rating. Ignacio Pereira for 2026 was like a nailed in, like, absolute must have striker. So that's the reason why. Andres Ferreira actually was like unstoppable during the 2029 season. So if you watched during that season, you would understand that Ferrari, he was a total difference maker, like completely changed the shape of the year. I know that we were kind of like mid-table in that time, but Andres Ferrari was the reason that we did not struggle that year. He was bagging goals in left and right in 2029. And yeah, 7.28 rating. He was the difference maker on every front. But of course, Michael Cabrera, all-time best season. I think it goes without saying. I mean, he was the reason why we actually were even, like, 22 goals, 7.36 rating. Like, he was out of his mind. Now, all-time best 11. Let me go for the save. So Adriel, I don't think it matters. I think it's pretty obvious. Everybody you've seen here, Dario Dennis, Jose Arbio, Adriel. Adriel's been there 3 times, and he was even off the bench because he stole Francisco Tinaglini's kind of thunder when he came in the 2030 season. So I feel like that was a no-brainer. Jose Arbio, I feel like, is a no-brainer for the backup. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Dario Dennis, I did look into Dario Dennis, but because Dennis is probably a better penalty stopper, but in terms of just having like a better goalkeeping record, I think Jose Obrio's got him beat, like just in a general sense. Mauro Brussel, I decided. Obviously, he's played with us more as Cerro, so I put him in Cerro's colors instead of River Plate's colors. But I mean, look, Mauro Brussel was in 4 times in our player of the overall best 11. Was he? I don't think he was there in 2026. Yeah, he was. Look over here. So he's over here. So basically for like 5 seasons, he was one of the more consequential players that we've had. Mauro Brussel, and he's even still in the team to this day. He actually just retired in the season. So he's done along with the save. So he's been there for like most of it. I mean, I have a fondness for Mauro Brussel. I didn't think it would come from a center back. He's had a solid career that he was 100% like part of and was consequential. So I just have a fondness for him. I think he's like an excellent center back, and it was great. Felipe Mata, I mean, I think it goes without saying he's been in there 3 times now, and then he got put on the bench for the last season. But Felipe Mata, I think, is an excellent, Brazilian center back. Great. He had one of the best seasons we've seen as a center back. Santiago Ostalaza, for me, dude, I don't even know. Like, again, I don't understand how he became so consequential. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, he was in our team 3 times. And I just look at them like he's one of the surprises of the save. I really did not anticipate him to be so good and so reliable. Like, he consistently played very well, did not give up chances. I just gotta say, like, so he's just one of the guys I just don't like. I feel like that way for Alvaro Dennis, but I feel like Alvaro Dennis has a higher ceiling, so he's probably gonna get sold off somewhere. Like, so therefore, like, in terms of just having him around, Santiago Ostalaza like matured to the level where he is a clear out and out league, like Uruguay first division player. I feel the same way about Brandon Yana. But yeah, I just but Ostalaza was the guy who's like stuck around. I was like actually with for longer. So, by the way, the reason why is because Brandon Yana was on the bench twice. He got in there twice. So I was with him for 4 years, but Ostalaza, like last 3 years, he's been there. Juan Pablo Reyes, I don't think it's even a debate. He's been the best right wing back. He actually got in the team of the season for the first division. So like it's not even which is funny. He got team of the season for the first division and wasn't even like one of the best seasons we've ever had. But this is right here, the 2032. I just don't think it's like that. It's not controversial. What is controversial though is I debated a lot internally. I had a lot of struggle with Martin Rabuñal and Alejo Maselli. Both of them are more like defensive midfielders that I would play, but sometimes mostly together, and Rabuñal would be ahead, and then towards the end of Rabuñal's once he got older, I actually switched it, and Maselli actually started becoming more of like the offensive player. But both of them, Maselli was here, right? And then he was off the bench, right? Rabuñal is the same way, here, and then he was off on the bench over here, like over in the 2029 season. So I had a lot of consternation with this, but I remember Rabuñal, like the thing that I remember about Rabuñal was his his shot power. Like he would score these long range goals. And I knew that was the thing that like stuck out in my mind between the two of them. However, when I was overlooking Alejo Maselli, like Alejo Maselli played way more games. He was way more like just in there every single game, day in, day out, having good seasons. Like he was just the consistent guy. He would never have, like he would not have bad games. Rob Uñal could have bad games. Rob Uñal would get injured sometimes. But Rob Uñal was always like, he was the guy who would come in late, hit one from like, the top of the box. So that's the reason why I think about that. But Alejo Maselli, like way more goal contributions. He just was like always in the team. And it's kind of the Cal Ripken Jr. effect. It's just like his longevity is the fact that he just like never missed a game. It's like that was the lasting piece. And that's why I picked him over. Carlos Diaz, it goes without saying, Carlos Diaz was and is fantastic. I played him in a couple different roles. I didn't even think he was he was very consequential between the two of them when Mario Alvarez was in the team. And then he stepped up when Mario Alvarez was gone. Fantastic. Like became the primary, penalty taker, free kick taker, like dictated the midfield. Fantastic. Matias Pintos, I think he had that like otherworldly season. Our left back, I actually never really thought about our left back position was never really nailed in. Matias Alonso, was the closest we had, but Matias Pintos, for me, felt like he was dangerous every time he went forward. Dangerous. So I picked him as our left wing back. When it comes to just like using which formation I was going to pick, here's the thing: Mateo Rodriguez wasn't that big of a standout. Ignacio Yepes was, but he was in the sense that he was a striker and a winger. So, and also Leandro Mendez was the same kind of like enigma. And his one standout season was the winger position. And then, Rodrigo Marin and Ezequiel Gonzalez. Like I didn't feel like I had a guy in that position to like. I was just like, they're better. They're like the two striker setup and the attacking midfielder setup. There are way more of abundance of choices. And actually, I feel like there's better choices rather than otherwise. But if I were to pick people in these positions, Rodrigo Marin on the left side and Leandro Mendez on the right side. I think that's kind of, I think it's self-explanatory, like just in terms of that side. But anyways. Going forward, Carlos Mata and Fabian Soria. I don't think it's very controversial. That has been pretty much a nailed in for 3 seasons. Here, Fabian Soria, I mean, he made it on the bench, but that's only because Ezequiel Gonzalez had a blinder of a year, and Fabian Soria has now just announced himself, but he got that big injury, so we'll see. But again, it's like these guys have been crazy. Carlos Mata is the captain now. It's like no chance. Alex Pannoni, dude, he won us the title. Carlos La Rosa has had 2 great seasons, and that's why he got the bench. Like Alex Pannoni had a season that was so far above what I like. It was so far above that it, like, for me, it counted like 2 great seasons. It was like unbelievable. And he was the one that won us the title. So, I couldn't ignore it. And that's why I gave it to Pannoni over Carlos La Rosa. Okay. Going on to the bench, it's kind of honorable mentions. Jose Arbio, obviously, again, great seasons, good shop stopper. Leonard Costa. Honestly, this is another guy that's kind of like the Cal Ripken Jr., just like longevity, played like a ton of games, consistent guy, like just was always there, never was the best center back, but was just always available. So he got 2 in there, but he also he picked up like over on the honorable mention for 2027. Rodrigo Marin, I feel the same way. Rodrigo Marin became very good on the wings over here. He also played striker for a little bit too, but on the wings and also in wing back. Like, he was also, I think, captain at one point. Like, you know, Rodrigo Marin, again, Martin Rabuñal, I gave you my spiel about it. You already know. Carlos La Rosa, these 2 seasons really like changed my mind about him. He was like, particularly the first season, like it was exceptionally good. And he scored a lot. And I feel like Carlos La Rosa is the victim of this setup here, because he didn't get a mention in like one of the best seasons, and he didn't get ahead of Alex Pannoni. Like, I feel like I did him dirty a little bit, but I'm sorry. Like, this is what it is. Carlos La Rosa, given it a couple more seasons, like, he would be ahead of Alex Pannoni. Just, you know, if it was a little longer, it would be there. But anyways, Ignacio Pereira and Andres Ferrari. Yeah. I don't think that's that crazy. It's to him. And then of course, my favorite player over the course of this entire thing is Carlos Mata, the big striker. Scored so many goals for us. I mean, consistently, like his first season. Hold on, I'll look up it. I got FM pulled up right now. For Carlos Mata, the captain, he's 25 years old right now. We started this save with River Plate in 2030. In 2030, he got 11 goals, 2 assists, 2 player of the matches. The next season, 15, 3-1. 2032, 24-4, and the next one 11-4-2. This guy is a consistently good performer. Yeah, and he's basically available for every game. Like, he's hitting above 30 games, 30 league games per season. I mean, he is the guy. If I had to pick a second favorite, it would be Mauro Brussel, and that is hilarious because he's not even like he's not even close to being our like the best player we've ever played with, but he was just always there. Mauro Brussel at Cerro was always available, always put in a good shift. Again, he's just like always around. He even went to River Plate with us. He played so well in 2030, and then he kind of faded out, but he was still playing here and there in 2031, 32, 33, but then eventually in like 33 and 32, he kind of was like too old at that point to be really that effective. He'd pop in here and there, but didn't do much. But yeah. Oh, okay. Last thing. Gonzalo Fernandez. If you remember back in the day when we won the title, he was just starting to pop through in 2024, but then he eventually like stated his position at Miramar Misiones when we won the title. I want to do a little like, where are they now? Next one, Mario Alvarez. We played with him for 2 years, and then we sold him. I'm going to catch up with him. And then Leandro Mendez. Again, these are guys, all three of them, Gonzalo Fernandez and Leandro Mendez. These two I actually like got from the youth intake, and then they went on, right? I was actually at the team coaching it when they were sold. So that's that. Mario Alvarez did not get, he came through the youth system before I got there. And then he was already kind of a nailed in starter by the time that I was there. So he kind of had like his first 2 seasons of being an actual starter. But anyways, let me go back, and then I'll show you Gonzalo Fernandez, then Mario Alvarez, and then lastly, Leandro Mendez. This is Gonzalo Fernandez. This is the guy that we brought through. Look how good he is now. Physically great. I mean, outstanding balance, great teamwork. I mean, he's got what you need where you need it. He's making about $1 million a year. He is at Union Berlin in the second Bundesliga. He's basically a nailed-in starter as well. He is playing every single game. He's getting a 6.98, which is crazy. Yeah, 6.98 in the second Bundesliga is a great level. Union they're a top level team. They were just relegated. So again, this is a high level, and Gonzalo Fernandez is being part of that. This is crazy. So we sold him for a bargain because his contract was running out for $57,000. But there was a fat sell-on fee, and that finally paid off when Leicester bought him for $3.1 million. So that was the actual payday that we got at Miramar Misiones, which is crazy. And again, oh no, we didn't sell him when I was at the club. My mistake. It actually happened the next year or 2 years after, because this is when he first was coming through. That was, when I was there. And this is when I was there. I was when we won the title. So it was, basically nailed in starter. And then he played in the first division for 1 year. And then he finally launched off. How old is he now? 25. Okay, so he's 25. 4, 3, 2. Oh, this is 3. 20. Oh my God. This is embarrassing. 25, 24, 23, 2, 1, 20, 19, 18, 17. He was 16 years old. 16 years old when he's like a nailed-in starter at the second division when we won the title. One of our better center backs as well. 16 years old. Then at 17, nailed-in starter at the first division as a center back. Nailed-in starter right away for one of the big teams in Chile, by the way. Universidad Católica. They are one of the big teams. Colo's the big team, and then Católica, and then Universidad de Chile. Those are the other two other big teams. He's a nailed-in starter for the Chile, which is a harder league, and it's a bigger team. That's crazy. That's crazy at 18 and 19. And then he finally gets the big move into Europe. Gets a loan to Cardiff in the championship. Doesn't do that well, it seems. But then he goes to League One, gets a loan there, does well. Does well again in League One, does well again in League One. And then Leicester think, okay, he's 24 now, and we got to let him go. And they released him to Union Berlin. They snatched him up, and he's doing great. So good on him. 21 caps for Uruguay. 21 caps for Uruguay, and a goal for Uruguay nonetheless, too. He's actually playing for the Uruguayan national team. Oh, my God. That's crazy. Is he out of the league? Is he out of there now? It looks like he's no longer... Yeah, he's no longer in the side anymore. Wow. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, Santiago Costa as well. This is another guy. I totally forgot about this guy. Oh, you know why? It's because 2030 was my first year. So he was in there, and then we sold him off. Oh, and then he came back to Peñarol. Oh, that's probably the reason why I never I was like, I probably won't feature him. Interesting. Okay. So there's that. So let's go to Mario Alvarez. He's playing for the B team of Porto. Yeah, got sold. He actually got loaned back to Montevideo City, which is kind of shiesty. But he played the back half of the team of the season with them. But he's not really making any headway here. But it looks like he's too good for the second league, but he's not good enough for their first team. He's way too good for the second league. I don't even have it loaded, but he's not good enough for the Premier League or for the first league of Portugal right now. He might be better for a second, a smaller team, but not actual Porto's first team. But he's come off the bench a handful of times, so he's got some value for sure. I mean, if you look at it, he's a good player. He's still 22 as well. Mario Alvarez has definitely got, he's definitely got some quality with him. So his contract's about to go out, so I'm sure he's going to go try and look for that move eventually. Let's go to Leandro Mendez now. Leandro Mendez. Leandro out of Vasco da Gama. Yeah, sold him for $675,000. Eventually, the big payday, $6.75 million out to Brazil. So he's still in the continent. He's, he ripped it up in the Argentine Premier Division. That's crazy. Yeah, he ripped it up. I mean, if you're scoring like over 10 in the Premier Division, you are a solid player. Had a little dip here. It looks like maybe he got injured or something. I don't know. But Vasco da Gama now, it looks like he's just getting his feet wet. He's got a couple of goals already in the handful of matches he got. He's suspended. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. But 2 caps and a goal for Uruguay. There you go. So that's nice. That's nice. He's got a solid career going on. He's earning $1.5 million a year. He's just a squad player. He's not even like a star or anything over there either. Is Gonzalo? Regular starter. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that just wanted to do like a where are they now kind of update, but that's all. This was a very, very long episode. So I appreciate you watching and, keeping up with everything. This has been like a lot of fun. Like we've done 11 seasons and yeah, just a lot has happened. I gotta be honest, the Defensor Sporting like rise to power, could not have seen that. I thought we were just gonna have like Nacional running it for like 5-6 seasons in a row, but we didn't. Wanderers had a cheeky couple wins, and then then it was Nacional, and then now we're ending it with Defensor Sporting. Peñarol only picking up a couple titles. It was wild. Anyways, again, I'm Jack City. This is the Pablo Acuña story. It's ended. We have finished with not much, just the second division title back in 2025. But we basically went from mid-table to top half in 11 seasons. Only moving jobs if we got fired or if they asked us to move or take a job or a job interview. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. And I'll be making a new project very soon.